Well, the school was actually an accident. Eric and I had taught school here in 1999, and then we left in 2000, and we decided a few years later that we missed Veracruz so much that we wanted to come back. And so we did, and we had our first student in November of 2004.
You know, we came down here 6 years ago, semi-retired, and now we're working 12, 14-hour days and loving it.
I think the main philosophy is that we want students to feel safe speaking Spanish. And if they feel safe, then they're going to try.
We had a woman come down. I think she's been to 6 immersion schools prior to finding ours. And she said, "Your school is amazing. This is just the first day. And first day people are talking Spanish. It didn't even take us 2 or 3 days to feel comfortable around each other. Immediately, you and your staff made us feel comfortable enough to just dive right in and talk."
When the students arrive, the first thing that happens is they go out alone for 4 hours with one of our charlantes. And the charlante teaches them how to use the buses and gets them oriented to where the school is in relation to everything else.
El domingo, que es el día más común cuando hay nuevos estudiantes, yo soy quien está con ellos en su primer día. Soy quien va con ellos a enseñarles cómo tomar el autobús, dónde comprar, dónde pueden comer, cuánto cuesta el autobús aquí.
Es más para enchiladas.
Tortilla con frijoles y queso.
Y cuáles son las calles principales por las que pueden caminar, además de ir al centro para que lo conozcan y también a Boca del Río.
And when he comes back, he gives us a report of where he thinks the gaps are. And then we're able to group the students for the week and come up with a program of filling in the gaps.
Many schools are pure immersion. And by that, what they mean is not a word of English is spoken. Well, let us tell you why we don't buy that. It's almost impossible to learn complicated concepts about a language you don't know in the language that you don't know. So we'll explain something to you in English. Now, if your Spanish is real good, we'll explain it in Spanish, sure. But if it's not, we'll explain it in English so you see the concept, so you grab it quickly, and then we'll fall right back into Spanish to start practicing it. Veracruz picks right up where we leave off. Veracruz has so much going on all the time.
We have beaches, we have music, we have dance, museums, beautiful architecture, and it's just the most wonderful place in the world. Eric and I like to call it paradise.
The Zocalo, I love the Zocalo. The Zocalo is so cool. There's the promenade along the water, all sorts of different shops. The people are really friendly, so you can talk to anybody, anywhere you go.
Veracruz is a great place to visit. It's probably Mexico's best kept secret.
Our program is real different from other schools. The students start out the day at 7 a.m. having breakfast. And at breakfast we have native speakers cooking as well as sitting with them just to keep the conversation in Spanish so they can practice what they learned the day before. That's followed by 2 hours of classroom, and the classes are never more than 2 students, and often they're individual private lessons. After that, they go out and they go to museums, to markets, to the aquarium, to grocery stores, places like that, so they can find things to talk about. And then they come back and we have lunch.
Cuando estoy en la cocina haciendo salsas o la comida, los estudiantes están viendo cómo la preparo.
Mari's cooking is good, really good.
At lunch we have tables that only seat 4. Usually there are 2 students and 2 employees. And our staff, they're really attentive to the students and they help them practice what they learned in class.
Yo preparo la comida para los estudiantes y cuando estamos comiendo nosotros platicamos mucho español y ellos aprenden mucho.
And one of the beauties of our program is that they can go right upstairs after class. They don't have to go out and find a bus or a taxi or walk all the way to their homestays. They simply go upstairs, and then after 15 or 20 minutes of rest, they can either come downstairs and go out into the city and find people to talk with.
Sometimes it's just nice to just walk, talk to people. You never get where you want to go in the time that you want to get there though, because there's just so many interesting things.
Or they can come down and find the sofa person, the person who has sofa duty from 3:30 until 9 o'clock.
What I like about sofa duty is that conversation can just go on and on and on, and it doesn't have to have any structure to it.
The other thing that's nice about the sofa duty person is it kind of keeps things from getting back into English, because one of the things that the students want to do as soon as classes are over is they want to start talking to each other in English. But when we have sofa duty people in the room, in order not to be rude, because our sofa duty people don't speak English, the students tend to speak Spanish.
You review things here in the school with the teachers, but then you go out and you can practice them in the real world. For example, taking buses, taking taxis, taking trains. So you really are forced to practice what you've learned.
Les digo cuánto cuesta el precio de un boleto de autobús para estar aquí en la ciudad, y después vamos al centro para que conozcan la zona turística como es el Malecón, el Zócalo.
It's a whole different ballgame when you get out there and you are the one with the money in your hand, getting on the bus, paying the bus driver, asking where to get off. Those things are really what helps you to be better at speaking the language. And it's fun too, because generally the people in Veracruz are really patient and they'll take their time to talk to you and sit there while you try to explain where you want to go. So it really fosters a really good learning environment.
In Mexico, we have built a team. All the players are important.
Son excelentes personas, son muy bien. Más que jefes, son como amigos.
Our teachers will just help out any way they can. We got the most wonderful people. When they show up in the morning, it's a pleasure to see them. They take the students to heart, they take the school to heart. Good, hard work, and always improving their skills. And so nice to have around. This school's got a tremendous future. I think the school will be here for the next 20 years, but this school will always maintain its quality and its tremendous service to its students.